And we are live.
Everyone, whoever is
What's up,
watching.
everyone? I'm Alex,
Hello,
run the
everybody.
night. As you know, we're here today with Jesse
That's me.
and with Tony of the East Coast Rave community.
Yep.
So these guys have done some really cool stuff. They started up a whole group. Now it's got 7,818 members. I literally just checked about 2 seconds ago. There might be a couple hundred more for all I know right now.
Probably,
Um,
I never checked the requests. I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of requests pending right now.
There's always like 50 or plus requests pending at
Easily.
like any
Yeah.
given time.
Word. All right. So if you guys kind of want to introduce yourselves and kind of talk about your roles in the community, I guess Jesse, we'll start off with you.
Yeah. So basically, last year, EDC New York, I was a volunteer. 2013, I was a volunteer there. And I was supposed to go with my friends to the festival because they were like, oh, so you're gonna volunteer, so obviously you're gonna get like a free ticket for that, whatever. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we'll just meet up over there. Last minute, somehow, all my friends backed out. I don't know, personal reasons, whatever. But I decided I'm still gonna go volunteer. I don't care about that. I love the music, so I'm just gonna go. And to be really honest, that whole experience was so amazing. I mean, the first day I was not supposed to volunteer, and I was supposed to volunteer the second day. So the first day I just went by myself. I had an amazing time. It was like the first time ever I was going to a music festival by myself. I'd never done that before, and it was definitely really good. And then the next day I volunteered. We worked like 2 3 hour shifts. I think the best part about volunteering at the festival was that even though you were meeting new people, but like the kind of interaction you were having with them, since you guys share the same passion for the music, it feels like, oh, I've known this guy or this girl for like ages. Like she or he's like my childhood friend. Like you were talking like that because you both of you love the music so much. And I got back home, and it was a really good experience. And all of us volunteers were like a part of. It was a group created by Insomniac on Facebook called Night Owls and Volunteers Group. So when the festival was over, a lot of us that actually met at the festival, we were having conversations with each other on the group. Like people keep posting and people keep commenting and stuff like that. And then Insomniac out of nowhere, they posted something saying, you know what, we're actually gonna close the group since the festival is done. And next year, if you guys want to volunteer, just shoot us an email. And some of us were like, oh shit, especially me. I was like, I want to be in contact with these people.
Hmm.
So I can let this go away. And at that point, I still remember, I think it was 2:30 a.m. in the nighttime or in the morning, whatever you want to refer to. I thought of creating a group at that point, and I was like, you know what? Let me just create a personal, a personal private group, okay? And I created that on May 24th, and I added like, I don't even know, maybe 25, 30 people at that point, you know, and Joey was the first guy who was really active in the group. He's the one who's setting up the event right now in Jersey. He added his friends, and then Helen was the second person who was really active in the group. And then after a month, I decided like Joey can be an admin, and then Helen can be an admin because Joey lived in New Jersey, Helen lived in Connecticut, and I was in New York. I was like, so which, like, I'll meet people in New York, I'll refer them to the group. Joey lives in Jersey, he will refer the Jersey people, and Helen will do the same in Connecticut people. And until Izu, we had like, I don't know, maybe 200 members, I guess. After
Hmm.
Izu, this group literally like blew up in proportions. It's like it's not even 1 year till Izu, and it's already close to 8,000 people.
Wow.
When I sit down and think about it, I would say I would have never ever, when the day I made the group, I would have never thought I would even cross 700 people. I would have never thought, at least, I would have never thought 70 people will be actually active even in the group. Forget about like having 700 people in the first place, but it's just massive. I think one of the reasons the group is a success is because it happened at the right time.
Hmm.
Like like people say there's a right time and there's a right place. Perfect example of this, because that was a time in the US the scene was like kind of getting really big. Everyone was like, oh, EDM, I love this music, I'm gonna go to festival shows. So I think the group happened to be at the right time and at the right place. So I guess that's probably what contributes to the success of it.
Nice. So
And
we
that's
got
pretty much it.
so we got the whole founding from everything from this
And then
close tight.
Tony actually joined us I don't know what was it after EZU
It was no. I joined you like
no,
after
as an admin I'm
EDC New
saying.
York.
As an admin I'm saying.
Oh, as an admin, yeah,
I think
like
it was
around
after
EZU.
EZU, right? Yeah,
I
it
think
was
right
probably
after
after
EZU,
EZU.
yeah.
Yeah. So Tony joined us as an admin, and hey man, we were four admins at like I don't know 500 people, and we are still four admins at 8,000 people. You know, we have done a good job of maintaining over here.
I think we had about 2,000, about like 1,000, 1,500 people when I became an admin.
Hmm.
Could be
Because like
possible. Yeah, I don't
it,
really remember the numbers.
it
So
like in
let's talk
no
about Tony. So let's talk about how you became an admin. So we
okay.
talked a little before we went
Well,
live.
okay. The reason, the
I
reason
got
Tony,
this.
no. All right, go ahead. You go ahead. Okay.
So I went to EDC New York also, had a great time, everything. I was going to EDC Vegas by myself. Jesse had created this other group where it was
No, I didn't create any group.
I,
I was a
the
part of the
Plur
group.
Nation.
No, I didn't create any group. I
Okay,
was
he
just a
was
part of the EDC Vegas group, and I just posted in the group saying, "Hey, you know what? I have a suite in Vegas," and I was talking in that group also. You know, like I'm having a suite party. You guys are invited. Just like some people that I was having like a regular conversation with, and Tony happened to be one of those people. So that's
Hmm.
how we met in Vegas, basically.
yeah. So I didn't end up meeting Jesse until like the last day of Vegas too. This was like
Hmm.
midnight, the Sunday of EDC Vegas.
Before Above and Beyond, when the
Yeah,
feels were real.
right before Above and Beyond.
This is such a
Like
romantic setting we're painting here.
it was.
Right, yeah.
You gotta wait till the rest of the story of this bromance.
Uh-huh.
So we met, hung out all night. We ended up like hanging out during Dash at the end of the night, and we've created this like little bond over Dash Berlin. So since he's one of like our favorite artists. Ever since Vegas, I've probably gone out like every weekend possible until like the last month to shows in Philly, New York, all over the place. I'm just a very, very active member, and I'm also like a friendly guy, like always willing to like meet new people. So like I was always like, hey, I'm Tony, I'm part of this group, like East Coast Rave Unity, you guys should check it out. So I was always like talking about it at like every single show I went to,
Hmm.
and at Veld was where I met Joey and Helen for the first time. Jesse was kind enough to say, I'll vouch for this kid.
Yeah, I remember
We
that.
have a fourth in our car, and the four of us probably had like the best time of our lives
It
together.
was it was just if you think about it, it's so weird because I remember when we were going. So this is when the group was made, and this festival called Weld Music Festival. It was in Canada. I'm telling you, it was such a great lineup. Three of my favorite artists were actually on the lineup: Cascade, Dead Mouse, and Above and Beyond. I was like, I have to go to this festival. The tickets were maybe $200, and like we found a cheap hotel. For me, it was like a last minute thing, pretty much. I think Tony, you already had the ticket before, right?
Yeah, I got two tickets from a friend. Yeah,
Exactly.
I was like, I'm
So
going no matter what.
I
If
remember, okay,
there's
when I actually spoke to Joey and Helen, and I was like, all right, you guys can be admins. Let me tell you, I never met them in person. I never met them at EDC. They were volunteers also, but I never met them. I
Hmm.
never met them in person. And it was just really weird thinking. I still remember when I was going with Tony in the car to Joey's house. I'm like, Tony, we have never met these people before, and we are actually going to a different country to a music festival with them. Like I don't know why are we doing this. I don't know what's the purpose, but like we're just going with the flow right now. So it was me, him, Joey, and Helen, four people, barely knew each other, like seriously, and we were like going to a different country to attend a music festival, and it was a really, really good experience. That made me feel like, there's, uh, even though you can meet people in like weird situations, they can
Right.
they can be really good friends, even if you like when you get to know them, basically.
it's like we all got together. We all met for the first time. We had like lunch together
All four of
overnight.
us for the first time, yeah.
Yeah, all four of us met for the first, and there was just that feeling that like you sort of knew these people, and like you just like instantly got along, and it just created like this little family between the four of us.
Yeah.
Hmm. So let's talk about now that we've established you guys are the admins, this fantastic four, if you will. Uh, I don't know which one of you shoots the fire, but we'll find out pretty soon, I guess. Um, how would you describe your individual roles? Is it strictly geographical, or do they actually do you have specific things in mind?
Roles, as in you mean like, as in like controlling the group, what gets posted and what not gets posted? Do you
In
mean
terms of
something like
like
that?
In terms of like, do people like one person schedules the events, one person moderates
Oh
the
no,
walls, like
no,
stuff like that.
it's completely random. If someone comes up with a good idea, like someone, for example, if someone messages me and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I want to have an event. You guys want to join us? I would love ECRC to join us. Like the ECRC to like partner with us. Like we can have an event together, and we discuss about it. And if we like it, we'll just go ahead and do it. It's like random. It's like there's no rules, no policies. If we like it, if we find it good enough, we'll just go with it. And we're having an event on Saturday in Jersey.
Hmm.
So, we liked it, and we were like, you know what, let's go ahead. We really don't do any events for financial purposes, because my main motive of making this group was not make any profit out of it, because when money gets involved, that's when the group gets destroyed, promotions,
Right.
shit, whatever. Sorry about that, actually. Um,
That's
yeah,
the
so
EDM
that,
gods on the phone.
yeah, right. It's probably Tiesto on the phone.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, someone like that.
Yeah, so
it's Joel calling you.
it's like completely random. There's no rules, nothing like that.
Hmm.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask for the people, because obviously I've been in it a few months now. I was talking to Tony about it, kind of how I got into it. But how would you explain the group to people who
Oh
aren't
man,
familiar with it? What's
sometimes
the
it's
elevator
so
pitch?
easy. Sometimes it's so easy, sometimes it's so hard. I mean, these days it's easy. It's really easy these days because a lot of people already know about this group. It's like you go to Webster Hall, you go to Pacha, you go to Slake or whatever output, and then like you meet people, you talk to them, you dance with them, whatever. And then some of the people they're like, hey, like I'm a part of this group. ECRC, and they're like, no way, I'm in the group also. Obviously, there's 7,800 people, but then you also got to realize not all the 7,800 people are active.
Right.
Not all of them comment or not all of them post, but they are in the group. They know what ECRC stands for, what it is, and they'll be like, no way, I'm a part of the group as well. And it's just like it's kind of big right now, so a lot of people already know. But talking about like 1 year ago, I think how it got popular was we just like went to shows and festivals and told people about this group. We have like a small Rave family of 20, 25 people. You can join us. Like we go to shows, festivals, events together. Let's have like a.
Hmm.
I always needed a Rave family. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like
All my.
word of mouth was definitely like the biggest way on like how this
It
group went
definitely
from
is.
like 25 people to almost 8,000 people. And
Right.
it's like you run into like you go to all these shows with people and stuff. Like I had this one little neat story about like how someone did it. I've gone to like 3 or 4 shows. This one girl randomly went up to me at the Armin Only show. She's like, "Oh, you're an ECRC,
Oh,
aren't
I
you?"
remember that.
And she just shows me like her Facebook page, and she's like, "You're in all these photos with me and my boyfriend." And like we went to all these shows together, and then we never met until like 4 or 5 shows later, over the course
So
of like a
crazy.
couple of months. It happens like all the time, where like you're
Wow.
hanging out
Every
with these
single time.
people,
I
and
get
then
so
eventually like
surprised. I'm like,
ECRC becomes a topic.
yeah, it just happens. It just like comes in somehow, in the whole equation.
So I was talking with Tony a little bit before we went live, and like I've encountered a lot of different Facebook groups, especially through Run the Night. And what I try to do is, I try to interview artists or industry people or communities, and try to provide a platform for everyone to interact with each other. So I like the Facebook groups because, of course, that's where you're going to find, you'd hope, the most engaged people. So
Hmm.
that's how I came across East Coast Rave Community. And one thing I think that makes you guys stand out is that family aspect, that engaged aspect, because you have a hardcore following of, just off the top of my head, maybe 100 people that are constantly engaging.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
I
and
wanted
the
to
other
ask you guys, what do you think? Why do you think that is? That your group has so many active, highly engaged people
Well,
versus others?
we're not just a bunch of people who like go to raves together. Like we've hosted like a Super Bowl party at my house this year. Like we don't just go to shows together. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's
like
not
a
just
group.
about going
It's a
on
group
weekends.
of
It's not like that.
friends who will like do other things together. We're not
Yeah.
just like,
Hmm.
hey, see you at the next show. It's like, hey, let's go out and do dinner, or let's go out and do something else.
Hmm.
I think the reason we stand out is because, as I was telling you before, a lot of these Facebook groups they end up like being promotional groups.
Hmm.
Like 10, 20 people will keep posting about their shit, like, oh, promote my event, and then there will be like 100 million DJs posting in the group, hey, I'm a DJ, follow my SoundCloud. I'm not being like an asshole or something
No,
like
no,
that.
it's true.
I
That's what it is
respect
now.
that you are a DJ, you're an artist, but the whole purpose of this group is not to promote. So
Hmm.
if I see someone promoting, I immediately delete it.
Right.
That was my motive actually of the group itself. No promoting. Be as welcoming as you are. Respect the other person, whatever he's posting. Don't be an asshole. Please don't be an asshole. If you are, you will eventually get kicked out of the group. Seriously, like be inviting, be respectful. I'm not a really big fan of the word plur, but as long as if you follow it, that's all what matters. You will find
Right.
a lot of people saying so much things, and then at the end they'll go like, "Oh, hey, plur." I'm like, dude, you gotta act it instead of just saying it. You know,
Right.
it's all about like your actions speak louder than words, pretty much.
Hmm.
So that's definitely what stands us out. Actually, like we are not like a promotional group. We are not a company that actually runs events. It's nothing like that. We're a
Hmm.
Facebook group, and it's like comparing it with like an internet forum where people connect with each other who have the same interests. And
Hmm.
we are a rave group. Everyone likes electronic music over here, so that's what we're here for. And one of the best things about this group is, although a lot of people met each other through events, shows, festivals, but hey, you know what? They're really good friends now.
Hmm.
Like actual friends. They go out, they hang out together. Guess what? My birthday is on Wednesday, the coming one, on 18th of June. I'm
Happy
going to
birthday.
Vegas. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to Vegas with 30 people.
More than 30
And
people, but
probably
your
more than 30
birthday's just
people.
30 people.
Exactly. We have like a party bus and everything, and kid you not, more than half of the people I met it through the group, and they're such good friends of mine now.
Hmm.
Seriously. So, that's again what stands like make us like stand out basically. It's
Hmm.
not just, as Tony said, it's not just going to shows or festivals, but we like doing activities outside of the group. It's like what friends do. Hey, hang
Right.
out, have lunch, dinner, whatever, drinks. That's one
What
of
do
the
you
best
what
parts.
do you think that it is with East Coast rave community, but I guess even more the electronic music community that makes it so easy for you? It's kind of like you were saying, you're in a car with two random people going to Canada. I would assume 99% of the people on this planet would probably not do that. But what
I'm
what do you
pretty
think
sure
it
they
is
won't.
about this scene that makes that like
I think
okay?
that's you know what the thing is. I think like the scene is really welcoming in itself. The people who are in the scene, they are really welcoming, and I think that's what counts for it. Like people in the scene are they like really loving and caring. Like if like a group of people are going together at a festival, they like to take care of each other. Like they'll make sure everyone is safe, everyone is secure, and a lot of people in the scene are really welcoming, and that's what makes the people in the scene different from regular people who are not in the scene.
Right.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
that's one of the reasons all four of us were like so comfortable with each other.
this
Even
scene's
though we were going in a car to
it,
Canada.
it's not high school. It's not like you have your jocks or your preppy kids or your geeks and your cheerleaders. It's like everyone's there. Like all those kinds of people that like you'd have like the cliques in high school. It's like everyone's welcoming. It's like all these people hang out together. There's no stereotypes, and it's just we're here to enjoy the music and have a good time.
Hmm.
Yep.
So it's interesting because the whole, when you look at the history of everything, rave culture, in and of itself, it was a very underground thing. It was very exclusive to, to raves. And I know we had
Mhm.
this debate that I might have sparked on the page, like a week ago or so about raves and whatnot. But I wanted to
Oh
kind of
yeah,
get
I
your
know.
view. Yeah, there you
About
go.
like you mean? I mean, okay, it's yeah. The name
Well,
is East Coast Rave Community.
what I wanted to ask though was because now we have Pasha, Webster Hall, kind of these big clubs that, as I'm sure you know about clubs, they don't always bring in ravers per se. There's everyone under the sun is there, and I wanted to
Yeah.
know how you think this scene. I'm trying to say how to phrase this. So kind of like you have these raver kids that are all poor, quote unquote, and accepting and open,
Candy on
mixed
Orange,
in
like
with all these other
yeah,
people.
all these
So
other
I kind of
people.
wanted your opinion on how,
My
if that's a
friend,
clash, if that's good, bad.
it's it's like it's a mixture. I would say it's a 50-50. My friend Duong always says club kids would never like they would never have a good equation with the candy kids, like the plur
Right.
kids, because their thinking is different, and the club kids thinking is completely different. Both of them are going to, even though it's the same event, they're going for completely different purposes.
Right.
So he always says it, like they won't get along with each other, but sometimes they can. I know a lot of people myself who are like candy all the way at the top. I mean, I used to wear it,
Hmm.
but I don't do it anymore. I don't make it anymore because my personal life is really busy,
Right.
so I don't really have time for that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean I don't respect those people. I
Right.
respect every single person. I don't judge anyone. You want to wear candy, go ahead, man. That's fine with me. I'll still be friendly to you and everything. But there's definitely a stereotype when you see a candy kid walking on the street. A regular person will go like, "Is he like stupid? Like, what the hell is he dressed as?" Like
Right.
that's what a stereotype is. But when you go know a person, maybe he is just a regular person who's like about the rave culture. You know,
Hmm.
it's like when the people who like rock music, they will have like those emo looks and stuff like that. I think it comes in with the scene. You
Hmm.
know, the rock culture had like emo people, and we have the candy kids. I
Right.
think it just comes with the scene itself. There's some difference that makes them separate. You know.
Do you think then do you think the nightclub as an institution
Uh,
is the place for the candy kids, if you will, or the
no,
street?
I don't think so.
No,
No,
no.
definitely not. No, that's because that's not the origins.
Because like
That's not the
I
origin at
agree with
all.
you on that.
I've
Yeah.
Tony, what were
been
you?
to I've been to a bunch of like the Brooklyn and like the warehouse raves and everything, and it's like when you compare them to like the nightclubs of like Webster and Pasha, it's come like night and day. Like
Right.
yeah, Webster you have your different floors, so it's kind of segregated, but Pasha it's like majority of the people are on the main floor, so that's the large majority of your population's there for the EDM, like at Pasha.
Right.
So
Pacha and Webster both are completely different venues, actually.
yeah,
Pacha
Yeah.
is more like a club, and Webster Hall is more like a concert hall venue, and you see a lot of candy kids in the basement of Webster Hall.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
that's one of the things from Webster Hall I like a lot is that the basement actually has a vibe to it, has uniqueness.
It definitely
I
has
think
a different vibe,
I
yeah.
think Subset did really well in creating that kind of family element to it,
He
because that's
definitely
one of the
did.
things I noticed. And of
Yeah.
course, I've been out to Webster Hall a lot, not too often, but you hear
Hmm.
weird ratchet stories every now and then. But I like that it has a culture, whereas sometimes
It has
Pasha,
this whole
you
different
feel
vibe,
like
basically.
it's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
club meets warehouse. It's like an in
Yeah, it's
between.
right,
kind of like that, actually, yeah. It's like club music, but in a rave kind of background, Like
right,
people are getting candy and stuff like that. They're also dressed like that. The basement of Webster Hall compared with the main floor, it's so different. It's like,
right.
it's like a whole different vibe over there. I like it though. I love it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So let's kind of talk about where we see, I guess, where the culture is at now, and also where the music is at, if that's the same or different,
Like
and just kind of where you see everything is.
if we look at the culture, like the interview that we did with Tommy Sunshine, he's telling us that like the culture and everything, like these Google Hangouts, like all the mentality and like just the sense of community is the same as 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, he's saying there's no difference between 20 years ago and how it is today.
Hmm.
It's like the culture is obviously evolving, and a lot of people are getting to know more about the music, but they're not coming to know more about like techno music or deep house. They're coming to know about EDM music. I mean, see, that's what happens. EDM music. I said that. Can you believe it? I said it for the first time. Oh my God, kill me for that, okay? Like I'm tired. I told you before, but like most of the people, they're coming to know about like EDM instead of getting to know actual techno or deep house. Again, I don't judge people. Hey, you like EDM? That's fine with me. Even I like some of EDM. Like it's
Right.
not bad, but be more open when it comes to
like
electronic music. That's a
like
good thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like one of these people who've been doing it for a very long time. I'm like less than 2 years in myself, but like I dove into the whole culture and like got involved and was willing to like understand it and everything because like my
Right.
like the high school I went to had this like mentality character before career, so like I equate like that motto of my school to like the plur mentality. So like it just felt right when I first joined, and like I'm decided to just like dive into it and not be like, oh, I don't like this, or like I'm willing to like listen to everything and like
Yeah, I listen to everything. I
yeah.
listen to whatever sounds good to my ears. That's it.
Right.
And most of
Yeah,
it
I mean,
is electronic music, so.
well, I'm the same way. Like, I personally think I definitely see the scene being commercialized and commodified
Yeah,
drastically.
definitely.
Like, everyone sees this, and we'll talk about that in a
Hmm.
little bit. But I look at it as I don't blame the genre
No,
itself.
no, no, no,
I
definitely
blame
not.
it as,
It's commercialism.
right. It's the people in the industry. It's kind of like certain genres just have a wider appeal for whatever reason. So
Like
I don't
the
blame it on.
No, no,
I don't think you
I don't
can
blame it at
hate Big
all.
Room.
No, 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 no,
But
no. Of course not.
one thing I wanted to ask you guys, because obviously being in the most engaged segment of this community, how you've seen commercialization and this giant rise affect the community positively or negatively.
I think
Negatively, okay, I'm gonna say this negatively because the price of the ticket.
yeah,
Right.
if you look at like you say we do this like battle of SFX/IDT versus Insomniac, like because that's where it is. It's the two giants essentially battling for our ticket sales and everything because it's a
Right.
business at the end of the day. But like
You know,
the
go ahead,
owner
sorry.
the owner of SFX/IDT publicly is like, I'm here to make money. I really don't care anything about this, and he's literally buying up like all of the possible like venues and companies that he can. Well,
Right.
Pascal was a raver, so it's like he understands where we're coming from, but at the same time you have to cover your costs. But he puts on an insane production at all of his events, and it's all about the headliners and like us having a great time.
Right. Jesse, you were saying something?
Um, Shit, what was I saying? Oh, the price of the tickets, basically, I was talking about. I remember, I think it was 2012. I don't know, it was 2012 or 2013. Above and Beyond had like a Anjuna Beats party, Anjuna Beats Volume 10 edition party, whatever. It was something like that. It was at Roseland Ballroom, and that costed $60, I guess.
Mhm.
Above and Beyond, really big name, obviously. And now they're performing in Madison Square Garden, and the floor tickets is $180. You check StubHub, they're going for $350. That's the price of a
Wow.
festival. Yeah.
Right.
And this is the problem with commercialization. The price goes in. It's so insane. It gets really difficult to afford these kind of festivals.
Yeah, like if you look at like the price of those tickets and take a comparison, like if you use MSG, Armin, Above Me on $150 tickets. You could go to DC for Echo Stage, see the same artist play for like the same amount of time for $35.
New York
Right.
sucks, man. I'm telling you, New York sucks for like festival shows. It's so expensive. Seriously.
Right. No, I definitely feel you. I wanted to see because we've seen the rise of this kind of the whole concept of the main stage, if you will, and a lot of these artists who are perpetuating giant booking prices and rising the price of everything significantly. And I wanted your guys' kind of opinion on that whole main stage and the artists that play it.
Uh, I mean, they do kind of drive the sales, if you ask me. All right, let's say if you put not EDM, just regular techno house guys or deep house guys on the main stage, I'm telling you, the event is not gonna get sold out because a lot of people don't know about it.
Right.
What they know about is EDM, and that's what drives the sales. That's where the money is.
Mhm.
That's why people are focusing on that. I'm not saying don't listen to EDM, but if you listen to be more open, listen to everything else. Don't in the group sometimes it just really pisses me off when a lot of people try to bash other people who listen to other genres.
Mhm.
Trap people are bashing trans people are bashing trap people. Someone doesn't like deep house, someone says techno is boring, someone says fuck you EDM. Hey, you know what? Chill, man. Just whatever you like. You have your own taste, okay? Not everyone is the same. So please stop judging everyone.
If we
It
look
just
at like
really pisses me off.
if we look at the whole main stage concept, like one of the like Mysteryland actually did a really good job of like, yeah, they had a main stage and everything because every
It was
festival
really
has a main
diverse, I
stage.
would say.
Yeah,
Mystery
it was
Land.
their
Yeah, Mission
lineup
was great. I was there.
Yeah, I was there.
was
Yeah.
very diverse. Like I
See your wristband as well.
Oh, well, yeah.
I still got my Mystery Land still on.
I got
I was
mine
gonna
over here.
I went in there with the idea of I'm going to spend most of my time at the main stage probably. But like I had so much fun in Sunday school at like the prog with the prog going
and
and the deep house
Alex,
and then the hard
Tony
style.
is not a big fan of deep and techno house. Let me tell you that. He's actually
I'm,
not.
I'm,
Well, welcome to the
I'm
dark side, my friend.
There you go.
yeah, I'm getting. It's the transition because it's like everyone talks about it. Like I like originally got into the scene because I was a big Linkin Park person back in the day. So I'm like, okay, I like dubstep.
Weren't we all? Let's be honest. Weren't we all?
Yeah, come on, that's true. So I got into dubstep and like drum and bass, and then it went to trance, and now it's like I'm like opening my eyes to like prog and like deep house and techno.
Hey, there was a time last year when I listened to trap and I'm like, I don't think I would ever like this genre. I don't think I would ever listen to it. And today's a day, like, Mysteryland, I saw so many trap artists, and I love the genre now, seriously. It's just so good, you know. It just, like, happens. Like, it's a really good genre, I would say. It's like, if you're more open as a person, you might end up liking it. Just at least give it a try, you know.
Right.
But then again, most of the population, they just know EDM, you know, and that's why they will always be at the main stage. It's like whatever the market demands, you know, that will be on the main stage. And right now it's EDM, so that's definitely going to be on the main stage. It's not going to move from there.
Well, my major grievance, you know, and you might have gotten this vibe from the ridiculous amounts of rants I do constantly on the same topic within the group, because I like to be involved and cause havoc as much as possible.
You're a troll. It's okay. You're one of us.
You know, I follow after the big dead mouse. He's an idol to me. But
oh yeah, me too. So definitely, yeah.
But one thing I've really noticed, and what my big grievance, and the reason I don't like trap and now the big room kind of stuff is, it seems that the art of DJing is just very rapidly dying away, and it's become completely producing, and then the show quality is judged in production value. And I wanted hold on.
Sorry.
God, Tony, waiting to get in there. I just kind of wanted to know if you kind of noticed that it seems that these main stage guys, they're getting, like we said, they're getting more money to lift the prices because of their popularity, but that quality and added value is not being added because of them. It's just their name and production value.
That's the problem, man. That's what's happening with EDM. It's going worse every single day because
that's why I think it's going to bubble.
But the thing is, though, like with the whole like the people who like are producers and DJs, you're at a whole festival. Like you don't have to go see them if you don't want to go see them.
Right.
So like,
let's even away from the festival. I think we could even call, you know, the main stage at Webster, the main stage at Pasha, any of these clubs. I think it's a similar concept. It is a main stage. No,
it definitely is. Yeah, it definitely is. Like, why do you think there's a basement at Webster Hall and there's a main hall or whatever they call it at Webster Hall? Why at Pasha there's a main floor and why there is a Pachita that's on the 4th floor? You know, there's a difference always. So no, I know what you're talking about. So I completely agree with you on that. Yeah.
And Tony, you can continue your.
I'm good.
Passionate rant.
I was
you're
good.
A little bit.
You kept blocking him. Come on, say it right now.
All right. So I kind of wanted to see. I think this is a good part to get into it. We've seen where the East Coast Rave community began. We see kind of where we're at. The future. What is the future of the East Coast Rave community as you see it, or as you both see it?
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever someone asks me this question, like, where do you see ECRC like in the future? To be really honest, I don't know. I don't know where it is going. Yeah, we're just going with the flow. We're enjoying it right now. But if you ask me, after 5 years, are you still gonna be active on the group? Are you gonna post? Are you still gonna post a lot? Are you gonna be commenting a lot? You know, just be like active on the group after 5 years. I don't know. You know, real life kicks in. You gotta like take care of other stuff. So I don't really know where this group is going right now. I think we're just going with the flow. We're just taking it easy. We're just like, haha, just for laughs. You know, it's entertaining sometimes. But now, for example, like I started my internship on Monday, like a full-time internship. I haven't been on the group in the past 5 days. Let me tell you this. I haven't checked a single thing. You know, I mean, yeah, I comment and stuff, but I haven't checked anything. You know.
It's rough because like the 4 of us all have like 9 to 5 jobs, so like we're working most of the time and we're busy. So like the time when the 4 of us actually get together to try to like do a planning session or where we think it's going to go from here on out it's very hard for all four of us to get together.
What I like, or like, it's not even like what I like actually. What I want to do is like at least have some events by us, basically, so that all the people who are in ECRC just come to our events, just like a get together. Not like make a profit out of it. No, definitely not like that. Definitely
Right.
not.
If you can't bring,
but
you
just
can't have
for fun.
a bunch of. Oh.
Tony, you're just dying to get in on this. I love it.
There's a little
I love the
lag.
passion.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
No, we can't have house parties all the time because that's where it is currently. So it's like, it comes to the point where it's like I can't have 50 to 100 people over my house. And
no,
then
more than 100 people,
yeah,
man. More than 100 people, yeah.
And hope my house survives the event. So
well, but it seems like what you guys are saying is you could in a sense be. And let me finish before you interrupt because I'm going to say some harsh words. You could be promoters in the sense that you can get a venue, a tiny venue, fill it with just your East Coast Rave community family, not charge a lot of money, break even, and still have that integrity and that community and family feel.
No, we can.
Obviously,
We definitely can.
Beyond your house, so you can have more people.
I think that's where we are with the sink or swim event. Like, it's at the point where like we don't want to be promoters, but it's sort of like become that point. But by doing it, by like donating or being it like there's no profit for it at all, it's the only way to run it without like becoming like getting too like full of ourselves.
Then we had an event like where everything, like whatever money we got, it was given to like a school or something like that, Beats for Tots. Yeah, I kind of like doing that kind of stuff, giving back to the community itself, I'm not about like, let's make a profit out of it, like, I'm not about that. But I do like having events. The only reason I want to have events in the future is because I just want to get people to get together, have like the community aspect back. You're right, we can rent a small venue and do this, but then in doing that, it requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and
a lot of skill,
And a lot of skill, and as Tony was saying, we all have 9-to-5 jobs. It takes me 2 hours to go to my work because I work like all the way downtown, I come back home, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep, I get the weekends, and I'm like, at that point, do I really want to work more on something else that I really like, or I just want to chill and go out with friends, But then at some point, I'm like, you know what, maybe let me put some effort in this, maybe it will be productive, so it's like a 50-50. This is why whenever someone asks me, what's the future, I don't know. I can't really say anything about it.
You got to see where what happens over the course of the rest of the festival season.
Yeah,
and we'll see. I
think next year will definitely determine a lot for the group.
Well, let's talk about this. Because obviously, like you said, you all have 9-to-5 jobs and you're very busy in your personal lives. Would you ever consider getting into the music industry in some sense or another?
I actually had an internship with this company called 1B. And the only reason I had an internship with them was because I love the music, and I was like, I want to be associated with the industry, but then making a career out of this, it's actually pretty hard. You have to know a lot of people. Connections is definitely really important in this case, and I'm at a point in my life where I want a full-time job. I want to get good money. Instead of getting unpaid internships in a company that's really do dance music, so I had to shift away from it. If given a chance, hey, I will work for Beatport or Insomniac or anything. But then again, I need the money. It's like you gotta survive and stuff like that. So I'm fine with like working in a field or like where I'm majoring in right now. I'm fine in working in that field and just loving the music and just going to events and festivals, but I really doubt something like that is going to come up in the future, so I'm actually fine with it, and I'm pretty sure Tony's actually fine with that also. I don't think he wants to work in the music industry.
Like, I wouldn't work like in the industry, but I definitely like if the opportunity came along to like work.
Yeah, if the opportunity came along,
be one of those like the blogger sites like NYC EDM or like the Mass EDM group where like they have like a dozen people, so maybe like once a month you'll do like a coverage of a show or something, and like before like before that,
Or
like
like me,
yeah,
not to be a narcissist or anything.
but before like I got into the scene, like I traveled the country a lot for this like a card game, and like was offered like a job to like write for some of the like the companies for the card game, and they're like, we know you like to travel, we know you like to like enjoy the cities and stuff, so like I was gonna like write articles of like, here's a guide to New York City, or here's like a guide to Boston or wherever, and I would like give like a different view to like the whole scene.
Right. For sure. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the industry side, kind of what I've been getting into myself for the past year and a half.
hmm
It definitely has its ups and downs. You have to deal with a lot of crazy people, a lot of, awesome, reputable people, and it's kind of, I think, a reflection of the music scenes of themselves. And it's
hmm
one of those things that you can make it really
But
complicated or really not so complicated and
And the
make like a
question
seamless
is like,
life out of it.
if you decide to dive into it that much, like, does it become like, do you want to like leave it as something you love, or like become like developed into the work aspect, and then you may not end up enjoying it down the road.
Right.
yeah, that's a really good point, actually. You know.
That's
So
and
that's
that's
why I would do like the smaller things, and I would never want to do something big.
That's definitely a thing. It when it becomes work, like even just for me, like clubs and stuff now, it's kind of I see it much more as work than fun, whereas I used to be like
Exactly.
this is
Yeah.
pure fun. But at the same time, like I said, you have the opportunity to, if you want to do things with integrity and make sure that your prime goal is the quality of events and or whatever you're doing in that industry, and pushing that whole vibe with it and pushing a community rather than just saying we're gonna make a shitload of money right now. And I think definitely there needs to be a lot more people with that mentality. And of course, it's hard when you get into a field like this, but
Definitely, it's really hard actually. Because
Everyone wants to
I
jump.
remember,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Jesse.
yeah, like I remember when I was a volunteer, like people who were like they were like our heads or managers or whatever you want to say, they kept like running 24/7, going, like I don't know, they were just like in charge of every single thing at the festival, and I'm pretty sure they were never there when the music was playing at the stage. They were just like
right,
running around the whole festival. So if I'm working in that environment, I don't think I would like it, because I want to be there and enjoy the music rather than just like run around 24/7. I don't want to do that. I'm here to enjoy the music, not like
right.
run around and take care of shit. That's not me. So maybe that's why I decided I don't want to be in the music industry now, because I would rather enjoy the music rather than consider that as work, because that will be sad for me, I guess. I don't want to do that. I love the music, man. Seriously, I really love the music.
So let's talk. We kind of hinted on it, but let's talk about the music that you guys personally really enjoy. Not hating on anything, but what you guys are digging right now, and maybe
Right
some artists.
now, right now. I mean, for me, Cascade, Dead Mouse Above and Beyond will always forever, ever, ever be my favorite, no matter what happens. I can listen to them any day, any hour. Like, I don't care. I know I'll enjoy it. But right now, Oliver Heldens is pretty good right now.
Hmm.
Shawnee is pretty good right now. A lot of trap artists are actually really good right now. And I see like I don't know if you have heard Porter Robinson's new album.
Heard some of it
Um,
here and there.
yeah, that sounds kind of you know interesting.
Hmm.
Um, what else am I listening to right now? Actually, you know what? I'm listening to a lot of trap these days. Because when it comes to trap, I'm like really limited. So I'm like trying to like have more info about it, be like know more about artists and stuff like that.
Right. Well, you have obviously a lot of trap peeps in the group for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. They love it.
There are a
Yeah.
lot of little.
Little? No.
No,
A
no.
lot of them, yeah. It's like they came out of nowhere. It's like they were hiding somewhere, and like when trap became famous, all of them like came out. Like, where were you guys all this time, man?
So
Like,
so
They
seriously,
were
you
in
should
the
have just told us
underground.
before.
so
Yeah, right?
90% of
Like,
the
shit.
people that are active in the group.
I'm like, you should have told me about this genre in 2012, man. I would have liked it. Come on.
So
Yeah,
Tony, let's talk about you. What are your
and well,
genres and artists?
everyone knows in the group that there's one group that I'm a fanboy over, just a little,
Oh, yeah, 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 of course,
just a
yeah.
little. Like
Just a little? No, 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 no.
just a
It's
little.
bad.
I'm a big Cruella fan.
You're gonna get
Uh,
court orders soon. Court restricting orders from them.
Why Cruella? Where is this fanboyness coming from?
I guess when I first got into the scene, they're one of like the first artists I started listening to, and like their
Mhm.
song "Alive" just has like so much meaning. It kind of like encompasses like festivals and the whole scene like very well, and like it struck a chord with me, and like it's always been like a go-to for me.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, otherwise, like I've been to a fair amount of shows. I'm also a huge Dash fan because of the beginning of me and Jesse like hanging out at the sunset of EDC Vegas last year. Can't wait for round two this year.
I was
Um,
lost at that point.
yeah. I'm a big trance person otherwise, like Armin, Andrew Rayel, Above and Beyond. I listen to like a lot. I pretty much have like AH FM like running all the time on my work computer.
Nice.
See,
And
the reason. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
look, what's the reason?
Oh, like Tony was saying, the reason he likes Cola is because he started listening to them and he got into the scene. The reason I love Cascade and Dead Mouse so much is because they were the first people I listened to. So
Right.
you definitely can connect with those artists because they were the reason you were into the scene. The first ever song I heard was by Cascade. The second ever song I heard was by Dead Mouse and Cascade. And then I discovered Above and Beyond in 2010. I don't know, man. There's something about their music. It's so uplifting. It like makes you happy, you know?
Yeah, there's so many great moments from Above and
Yeah,
Beyond
it's
shows that we've
like
been
I
to.
don't.
It's like
You can
each
explain
show
it.
is memorable, and it's like you like we've been there's been a lot of shows where like me and Helen or me and Jesse have been to like an Above and Beyond show, and it's just like this is a great time. I never want to leave here. Can we just relive this moment like
Yeah,
all the time, all day, every day?
sure. It's really hard to explain. You cannot explain it. You gotta experience it, basically. You know.
Right. I
Even
remember my
all the
first.
trap heads are actually, they're like, Above and Beyond is the only exception when it comes to trance. It's just
Right.
something about them.
No, it's true. And when you mentioned, your first Cascade song, I remember my first Cascade song. It was some like Atom something remix, Rain. I can't. I for the life of me can't remember.
Adam K and Sova remix, 4 a.m. Is
Is it
that the
that?
one?
I think it
Oh,
was that one.
it could be raining. It could be
It
raining also.
was
I
one of
listened to
those.
yeah,
I remember when I found it and I listened to it, I was like, holy shit, what is this?
exactly,
Like, I
yeah.
need this.
Same here. I listened to Angel on My Shoulder, and I'm like, you know what? This sounds really good. The
Mhm.
next song I heard was I Remember by Dead Mouse and Cascade, and I was like, same as you, like, holy shit.
Right.
These two artists are
Okay,
really good. Let me get more into it, and then there was
if
no
we're
looking
talking
back.
about like first songs that kind of got us into the whole scene, my friend was a streamer, and I was watching his stream, and he's just playing the music in the background. So this is how I really got into the whole scene, and he's just like, "Here's my music, here's everything." It was Gareth Emery, "Concrete Angel,"
Mm,
was like the first song that I ever heard, and I'm just like, I have to like find out more about this.
there you go. And so one thing I kind of wanted to ask you guys in addition was your group. You obviously see a lot of local people involved. So if
Mhm.
there's any local artists that have been highly involved in the group, and then also that you guys kind of found throughout being involved locally that you think are
Yeah,
coming up
definitely.
and
Nick and Robbie, of course. Definitely. They're good, talented. Um, like they were like the first people. Where did I meet Nick and Robbie for the first time? Oh, it was a Izu after party for W&W, and someone had a hotel room, and that's where I met Nick and Robbie for the first time.
Yeah,
And
Nick, and Robbie are like two of the oldest people. They're like the first ones to be like,
they're like
"Hey,
always there for us. I love them
we'll
too.
play for your house party." Like,
Yeah,
they're always
everything.
there to like have the music for everyone.
Hey, they're playing tonight, so there you go.
Yeah.
And
there
they're
you go.
playing tomorrow also, yeah. So they have been there since the beginning. I love them. And then I would say I got to know, since you were saying like any other local artist, you got to know Mike Lee.
Yep.
He is, Mike? Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked. I actually saw him. I think he opened for Mac J when I saw him. And I was
Yeah,
like, who is this
he's
kid?
like
Who is this? And then I found it was Mike Lee, and I was like, oh wow, hi Mike.
yeah. And I got to know like he's like an opening DJ, like he opened up a pod show. And he has
Mhm.
been like working on his productions lately, and it's he's going really good.
Shout
The
out
other
to
person
Mike
I
Lee.
got to know, shout out to Mike definitely, and the other person I got to know was Jeffro, and I'm proud of that guy because he's playing main stage at Electric Adventure. Is that what it's called?
I
Yeah,
think
Right?
the
that's it.
Yeah,
Electric
Yeah.
Adventure.
yeah. I'm so proud of him. Like he's playing main stage. Like he posted in the group saying, I remember it was like I think it was Kuhn who was playing in Brooklyn. And then this kid Jeff, he's like, hey, like I'm playing Webster Hall, come support me. I'm like, you know what, everyone's gonna be at Coon, stuff like that. But then something happened over here, or at the Coon show, we couldn't get in.
Yeah,
Then
the
you know what?
lines were
The lines
ridiculous
were
to get
like, there
into
was
Coon.
I don't know, something happened with that event. So we were like, you know what, this guy in the group is playing at Webster Hall, let's go check him out. And he was amazing at the main stage at Webster Hall. He was amazing, and definitely shout out to Jeff for also, yeah. And I don't know who else. I mean, Joey started playing Tech House. He just got into really DJing. He's
Mhm.
playing tonight also. And
Yeah.
yeah, these are like the definitely shout out to Nick and Robbie. They've always been there.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. There's like a dozen. There's like a dozen or so other DJs that like play Webster or play local shows. There's Chris and Sam. There's
Oh
Kamal.
yeah, I can't.
Uh,
How can I forget
I
them?
forget
Alpha
who
Pack.
else I'm
That's what
like.
they're called now, Tony.
They're
If you
Loudpick or
forget anyone, no worries, no hard feelings.
Yeah, no
It's
hard
hard to
yeah,
feelings,
yeah.
guys.
All
Like
hard
the
to
all
listen
the
to.
all the
you all are great,
ECRC
man.
DJs. We love you all. We're sorry if we forget any of you.
Seriously, you all are fantastic. You all are great, and don't kill me when you see me, okay? If I didn't
Mhm.
say your name. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
Word. All right, so
Mhm.
what's to wrap up? Let's get to more of a controversial topic,
Mhm.
because everyone in EDM loves controversy. Uh,
Mhm. Mm.
so
I
let's
think
let's
I
talk.
know where you're going, kind of.
He knows where he's going. This was pre-planned.
Yeah.
I tried to be spontaneous and all that suspense. But so let's talk about drugs in the scene
Mhm.
and its role. It's something,
I'll
especially
be.
here, we've talked about a lot, and I've talked about it
Yeah.
with some artists, some industry people, and I think it's always interesting to get people's perspective. So
I would like Tony
you
to
guys
say
want to say?
first, actually.
Okay. Well, my like rave name is Papa Bear. Like I got it after Izu. I'm the one that like always takes care of someone. Like I don't do drugs myself at any of these events, and it's like you can't all of these events you can't prevent people from doing it. Like you can have all of these like laws of like we're gonna have checks, but people are gonna find their way in. Like it's everyone's like free will at the end of the day to choose whether like they want to put something into their body or not. You
Right.
can't you can't prevent someone from doing it, but you can at least like if you look at like the Tomorrow Worlds and Tomorrowlands and like the people that have like dance safe tents and everything, like
Mhm.
knowledge is very important. You can't just be like, oh my god, this is bad, and just like completely shut it down because like it's better to like give the knowledge than have like all of these like deaths that happen at events and stuff, and then the media just has like a field day with it.
Right. Want to
Wow,
add anything there,
Tony.
Jesse?
Tony pretty much said whatever I wanted to say, but just reflecting on that, I mean, I don't go to festival shows, whatever you want to mention it, to do drugs. I don't go for that, okay? I go there for the
Right.
music. But then if someone else is doing drugs at a festival, I don't judge them. It's his life. He or she can do whatever they want, but at least whatever you are doing, just be safe in that, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
You
one of the
wanna
first.
Yeah, like you want to test yourself, go ahead. You want to do whatever you want. It's your life. Hey, no one, I'm not judging you, whatever you can do. But don't be stupid and take an obnoxious amount and then the next day, there's something in the news.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
I'm.
believe it. Like my mom, okay? I went to Electric Zoo last year and my mom didn't know where I was going. I was like, hey, I'm going to a concert, whatever, that's it. And then Sunday when it got canceled, I think it was in the newspaper the next year or something. She's like, hey, did you go over there? And I'm like, yeah, why? What happened? She's like, oh my God, you're not going anymore to these festivals and shows. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, there's so many people with drugs and stuff. What if something happens to you? And I'm like, Mom, come on, you know me. I don't go there for the drugs and shit. Come on. So this kind of thing is actually bad when people are like dying at festivals because they don't take care of themselves. You know, you gotta be safe. Test your stuff, do whatever you want. Just please be safe about it.
And
If I
like
don't
Right.
know
my
anyone,
my job like my job is like relevant to this whole topic because I'm a pharmacy technician. So like I'm one of those people that's out there that's like in the medical field that like if something was to ever happen to someone is prepared to like make sure they get to like the proper medical attention so they don't are you have these people that are just like randomly left in the crowds and stuff and no
Right.
one was willing to help them out and give them a hand to make sure they're okay and everything.
You know
Right.
what's one of the good things about this community is like almost everyone I know, they're really caring. They really take care of other people. Like I've seen them myself, even at regular shows, like on the weekends. If they see someone like who doesn't look good at all, they will go up to that person, and be like, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need some help?" And that's one of the good parts, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Everyone
Yeah,
is
I
really
mean,
caring.
and that's like my view on it has always been like I don't do drugs, and I've always personally been against drugs, and I don't think there is really any way to do safe drugs unless you are that crazy connected person who knows specifically where it came from and all that good stuff. But what I do like is I love organizations like Dance Safe who really
Hmm.
try to educate people and at
Yep.
least try to make a difference and say, because I agree, there's no way in hell you could stop drugs. I mean, look at
No.
Mysteryland. There were drug sniffing dogs. There was everything. And a friend of mine did drugs from total random strangers, and I
Oh,
personally
wow.
think that was a horrible idea. But you
Yeah.
know,
That's definitely a bad idea.
but I think that's the thing. Like in an ideal world, I think everyone should just be there for the music and the friends and the culture, and we won't have to worry about it. But that's not realistic. And I think trying, like you all mentioned, trying to make it a bad thing is just gonna end up
It
hurting a
just
lot more
It's
gives
people
it
in
like
the
just
long run.
gives a bad image, you
you don't
know, to
want
the
like
media itself.
you don't want this like a small handful of people like in the community that like cause these bigger events to happen to be like the downfall of the whole community. You want like to promote like all the positive sides of the community and not just a negative event that happens
Right.
every now and then.
Well, and that's the other side of it is people say, okay, well, when I do drugs, it's my personal choice, and I'm not hurting anyone. I just hurt myself. But in reality, when you're doing it at a multi-100,000-person music festival, and you make a bad decision, you just,
That was
you
a
fucked
bad
up the
Yeah,
whole
decision.
weekend,
Yeah,
which is obviously not more important than your life,
you look
but
at you look
yeah,
at
it affects
Easy.
other people.
You look at
it
Easy
definitely
with
does.
day 3 getting shut down, but if you look at like EDC Vegas last year, Tomorrow World last year, like like no fatalities at any of those incidents, and like even the like when the newspapers do these like number crunching of like, oh, there was 150 incidents at this event, like,
Right.
but when there's 340,000 people at this event, so it's a very small sample size, and they don't tell you why these events happen. It could be someone just getting a heat stroke or someone
Exactly.
needing to go get a Band-Aid, and that's considered an event.
Right. Right.
You know,
Cool.
it's a common saying. I know. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it. You don't need drugs to enjoy this music.
Right.
It's as simple as that. You know, that's it.
And
Yeah.
it's true. And I think your group definitely is a testament to that, is that it can be about a lot of other things besides the drugs. I know I've looked over your rules. You guys obviously say anyone who posts about drugs, or at least trying to sell them, gets banned. So that's
Oh,
always good.
always. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, you're stupid.
that's a
Just get out.
no-no.
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
just stupid on, if you even think to do that, you just should stay off social media.
I was like, you know what, man? You can personally message the guy if you're posting that in the group. Like, what are you thinking? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Seriously,
it
you're trying to
happens
get
every now and
arrested.
then when all 4 of us are out here to show and we're not monitoring the page. There's some idiot out there that will try to do it, but
Oh,
like luckily we have other people who are watching the pages that'll
yeah,
just be like,
that's a good
hey,
thing.
someone's being an idiot and
Hmm.
you need to check this out.
Hmm.
Yep. All right. Well, we've pretty much covered almost what looks like a full hour, so
Yeah,
that's cool.
that's pretty
Well,
good.
again, I want to shout out East Coast Rave community.
Thank
Uh,
you.
do you want the link so people can find you? You guys want to tell
Um,
us where we can
Yeah.
find all your stuff and what's
Tony, you can
any
go ahead.
events or whatever?
It's just East Coast Rave Community on Facebook, and then our Twitter and Instagram is EC Rave Community.
Hmm.
Cool. So everyone, you can go check out these two lovely dudes and their two compadres and the 7,818 members, and you guys can become part of the family. And I
Yep.
want to thank you,
Yes.
Jesse and Tony, for joining us today.
If you
Thank you.
guys see
I had a lot of fun.
I
If you guys
definitely had
see
a lot
us
of
at a
fun.
show or just want to talk to us, message us on Facebook. We're both nice guys, and we're always down to meet new people in the scene.
I don't bite
I,
guys. Come say hi. You know,
they are nice and friendly. Jesse does bite sometimes. He's lying.
only a
I
little
haven't been bitten, but I've heard crazy stuff. No, I'm kidding.
bit, just a little bit. Okay.
All right. Thank you
All right.
everyone for tuning in. You can check us out, facebook.com/RunTheNightLTD, Twitter, RunTheNightLTD, Instagram, same thing, or of course, RunTheNightLTD.com. This will be on YouTube once we get off the air. And once again, thanks guys for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Peace.